Have you ever read something so violent that your eyeballs just start bleeding with adrenaline? Because welcome to Predator vs. Wolverine, issue number 1, a comic that asks the age-old question of what if Logan got stabbed, burned, betrayed and mauled by a predator, and then things got a bit worse. Okay, we open up in modern day Canada, the land of maple syrup, polite arguments and one very mauled mutant. Wolverine is not doing well, and by that I mean he's missing a literal chunk of his skull and some of his shoulder. He's limping through the woods like someone just beat him with a tree made out of knives. I'm gonna try and do some voices for the characters. Don't laugh at me, please. It'll make me very sad.
They say I'm the best there is, but I sure as hell don't feel that way. Not now.
Fuck.
Now that I'm the hunted. Now that I'm the prey.
Jesus Christ, how do they do this? Hey, bub. Okay, I'm sorry. But don't laugh. Right, a predator laser just shines onto Wolverine's forehead, and he's probably thinking, fuck. But just in case you forgot this was a Predator comic, boom, there's those 3 little red dots, the universal sign for you're about to get absolutely obliterated by an alien with dreadlocks and an erection for death. Right, the Predator fires and Wolverine dodges, running for his life. You're seeing right, Wolverine is genuinely hauling ass. He's not slashing, not yelling, he's just literally running as fast as he possibly can, and he sounds like a broken bag of meat, whatever that sounds like. I imagine it to be quite wet.
Shrapnel in my skin, plasma burns, I'm a leaking bag of blood, makes me slow. Easy to track.
I can't do this. This really hurts my throat. He's basically turning into an ear tag with legs. He's leaving a path for the predator to just follow him with. You're right, he ducks off the side of this cliff and now he's hiding. This is how bad this is. Even he knows that facing a predator right now would be like cementing your head into a microwave. The predator deactivates his cloak and stands at the top of the cliff like some sort of murder peacock. Logan says,
this guy wants to be seen face to face, predator to prey. When he rips out my spine.
It's like jolt there, but I still said it. Okay, now we have a flashback to Alaska, the 1900s, and he's got no metal skeleton, no clothes, just a dead beaver. Right, wholesome, right?
Never understood traps. I wasn't good at patience.
I might just do this normally. I might just have to say it normal. He's living off pelts, staying away from people, being grumpy and feral in the snow. He's basically just Canadian Bear Grylls with extra trauma.
Ready for this?
But then look, okay, the space Uber has arrived. A predator lands nearby and finds another predator, dead, skewered by arrows and knives. The tribe has killed one with sticks. So naturally, the predator's like, right, okay, time to avenge the boys, and pulls out a shuriken and starts prepping his murder mixtape. Logan smells a storm coming and walks into this town called Scar. It's full of trappers, lodgers, and the one guy in every western who looks like he smells like piss. A barkeep sees Logan and says there he is now, which is never what you want to hear unless you're in a rom-com. Some greasy lad offers to buy Logan a drink, and Logan responds with, if you're smart, you'll stay clear of me. Why the fuck did I turn into a Billy Butcher? Which is Wolverine for, I will stab you if you get annoying. Okay, 2 more dudes make this fatal mistake of thinking Wolverine's not Wolverine and they try to rob him. Logan responds by doing what he does best and stabbing people until the room is suddenly very quiet and very handless. He even saws off a guy's hand with a saw because he already had his drink and the music is shit. Suddenly, a desperate dad shows up and begs Logan to save his kidnapped son. And yes, Logan agrees because deep down beneath the claws and the blood and the 400-year-old angst, he's a sucker for kids in danger. Meanwhile, the predator is off doing the most over-the-top Rocky-style training montage ever. He kills deer, he hunts mountain lions, he even rides a killer whale. He sees a village fire in the distance and locks in. As Logan heads through the snowy woods, he finds skinned humans and animals hanging from the trees. Fuck. Logan doesn't know what did it, but obviously we do, and it's definitely not Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, depending on when you're watching this. Logan tracks the kidnappers, storms their hideout and goes full blender mode. Heads roll, hands fly. Classic Wolverine things, I suppose. But then there's a twist. The dad shoots Logan in the back. Why, you ask? Because he hired these criminals, they double-crossed him, and he wanted revenge without dirtying his hands. Classic idiot mistake. Because then, boom, the predator fucking vaporizes him. He's gone like you vape when you need it the most. And of course, Wolverine just gets back up because that's what he does. And if you thought a bullet and betrayal were enough to kill Logan, then I have several bad comic arcs to sell you, and Logan slashes the predator's throat. The predator hisses, unmasks, and then Logan being Logan says,
whatever you are, I'm going to carve the...
I can't do it. Whatever you are, I'm going to carve the ugly off you. Make you fighting a fucking alien Freddy Krueger with an armory strapped to its face. Good luck carving anything. Right, this fight is savage. Wolverine gets 3 of his bone claws snapped in half, then gets impaled straight through the stomach. And if you thought he was going to lie down and take a nap, No. So Logan escapes, leads the predator into a bear cave, and then lets nature do the clawing for once. And it seems like the bear wins, the predator's down, and Logan limps off victorious, except no, the predator walks out holding the bear's head, because the comic doesn't do happy endings, it does iconic trauma. Okay, now we've got a flash forward in the final pages to Team X. Wolverine, Sabretooth, Maverick, Jackson, and Cruel, which is this weird dog-looking man, they're on a mission to stop a jungle coup. Classic covert stuff. Except, boom, 5 fucking predators show up because apparently the first one went home, told his mates, and now they all agreed to come back and finish the job. Wolverine doesn't remember the original fight thanks to, the mind wipes and the mind fuckery, but the Predator, he indeed remembers. Wolverine says he hasn't forgotten about me, and this time he brought reinforcements. I can't do it anymore, my throat hurts. And that's how issue 1 ends, with Logan's past catching up with 5 intergalactic murder bros aiming for round 2, and with your jaw probably between the floor and your nuts. Okay, right, issue 2, and we're back in Canada, everyone's favourite syrup station, and guess what? Wolverine is still dangling off the edge of a cliff like a pissed up Spider-Man with no web shooters. I don't know how long I've been hanging off this cliff, he says, maybe 10 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 25 seconds, we don't fucking know. Yeah, that's how I feel while I'm waiting for my toast to pop, except instead of toast, it's a thermal vision dreadlock monster from space trying to flambe your organs. Of course, our friendly neighbourhood predator is back, and he's gone from invisible jungle nightmare to literal cliff top aimbot. Logan's busy leaking blood and guts, and now he's got to dodge space lasers like this is Predator on the Commodore 64. Then he says, I hear it then, the sound it makes. It's like a spider clacking its mandibles together hungrily when some prey tangles in its webs. That shit goes hard. Right, okay. What's the plan? Okay, right, just yeet yourself off the cliff and straight into a pool of death by underwater boulders. A classic. Logie Pogie says, water's a weakness of mine, I already weighed down with adamantium. No fucking shit, you're built like a Funko Pop. And of course, swimming's not your thing. To make things even worse, now he's got a predator diving in after him like Free Willy if Willy had a skull trophy and an energy cannon. Now we take a sharp whiplash-inducing left turn into the past where Logan and his band of government-sponsored stab goblins, Team X, are in South America, doing government things, like assassinating politicians, bombing dams, stealing lunch money, spy stuff. Wolverine says we're already down to 4 against their 5 because in issue 1, Predator Netflixed one of their members into a giant space waffle iron. Rest in peace, Cruel. You were in the comic for like 7 minutes, but you got shredded harder than this rail.
No one has ever done that! No one has—
Meanwhile, Wolverine's casually rocking Predator jewelry like it was on sale at Claire's. He chucks that thing on like Captain America with abandonment issues and boom, instant Predator jugular slice. And it just comes back to him. It isn't a weapon, it's a space yo-yo of death. Meanwhile, Sabretooth, who's basically Wolverine but louder and with less dental care, decides fuck this and just fires his minigun into the woods and just hopes it hits something. Unfortunately, the Predator is done playing hide and seek and just straight up stabs him in the back. But this is Sabretooth, people. The man that gets stabbed thinks it tickled and then just impales the Predator right back with the same stick. Sabretooth gets quite kinky and says, coming for a closer look, and you are indeed bleeding from the sternum, please sit down. So Creed just turned himself into a Predator kebab and then just Predator sushi'd himself on the same stick. I love a dramatic couple therapy moment, but there's more, because suddenly, Jackson, sweet lovely Jackson, she's about oh. Never mind, Jackson is now -1 head. 1 minute she's arguing tactics and the next minute it's
fatality.
Wolverine and Maverick start shooting wildly into the trees because it worked so well when Victor did it, but surprise, Jackson was sent back down with a triangular boombox slapped on her. Everyone's on fire, covered in dirt and rethinking their life choices, so basically a normal Thursday in the X-Men universe. Predator tries to sneaky stabby Wolverine, but Maverick comes in clutch with the get off my bro spray, which is just bullets. Many bullets. He saves Logan, but he did get badly wounded in the blast. Logan hoists Maverick over his shoulder like a hairy bridal carry and dashes into the woods, finding an old temple. Inside this temple, however, is our old pal, the Jungle General, who's like, oh hey Wolverine, I know why you're here, and Logan's like, then shoot me. But no, it's because the Predators are outside and suddenly everyone's just teaming up with each other, I suppose. The General says we're not enemies as long as the Predators are trying to Pred, and just like that it becomes Predator versus Wolverine and some South American soldiers. All is calm for about 20 seconds and then one of the General's men just gets absolutely domed by one of the Preds. Body parts start flying, screams are echoing. One dude gets cut straight in half with one of their Yahuta shields? Yahuta? marijuana shields. I don't know how the fuck you say. Yahuata. Yahuza what's it? Logan's got 200 IQ big brain moves. While the soldiers are being predator confetti, he and Maverick sneak out and light the place up. The whole temple goes boom and kablooey. Dead predators, dead general, everyone's happy. The Team X chopper arrives for evac. Sabretooth somehow fine again, so Wolverine, Maverick and Creed fly away like nothing ever happened. However, they are not dead. I mean, the Predators, of course. All the soldiers are indeed most likely 100% dead. The Predators and corrupt generals in one explosion. Do not be ridiculous. This isn't Superhero Squad. The Predators survive. Woohoo. But now, we're back in modern day Canada, because this isn't confusing at all. We're stationed outside the Weapon X facility with 2 guards keeping watch on the door. Some birds alert the guards, but we see 2 scaly hands reaching for the jugular. The Pred shows the guard a picture of your mum, and his face just instantly melts off. Right, this big bumperclaw just kicks in the front door like Big Bird, lasering people in half, breaking bones like Kit Kats, and one guy gets his blood turned into modern art. He finally gets to Logan, who's KO'd and strapped to a table. The Predator looms over him, dramatic lightning, mask is glowing, spooky breath noises. All we're missing is a condom and a consent form. And with that, we fade to black, because this issue ends the same way every Predator encounter does, with violence, confusion, betrayal, a decapitation or 3, and Logan somehow always waking up shirtless. Now we move on to issue 3, also known as How Many Times Can You Kill a Man Made of Metal Before He Becomes a Flaming Skeleton Meteor? Because yes, that happens. We begin in the magical world of drowning. Wolverine stuck under a boulder because apparently he pissed off Poseidon. The Predator dives in like Aquaman's angry uncle, ready to finish the job, but Logan pulls the old bloody smoke bomb maneuver. That's right, he bleeds so much that the water just turns into a horror movie, and he dips. Suddenly, flashback. Remember the ending of issue 2? Well, yeah, the Predator found Logan comatose in a lab and thought, ooh, let's see what makes this bitch tick. So he cracks Logan open like a cold one and discovers that, surprise, the meat popsicle has a metal skeleton, like a Terminator, but angrier and Canadian. Logan wakes up in the middle of being dissected, which is fucking gross. The narration from Logan kicks in. I had no moral code, I had no intelligent thought, I only knew how to hurt. And this is why Logan isn't allowed near schools. Boom, the claws come out. New, improved, adamantium edition. Logan stabs the Predator in the shoulder and kicks off the nastiest breakup fight of all time. The hunt is no longer for sport, now it's personal, now it's petty. The Predator doesn't really care that he got stabbed. He's like, thank you for that, and then just sprays this weird acid into Logan's mouth, and then it just melts his fucking face right off. The Predator slings his sizzling souvenir over his shoulder and hauls him onto his trophy ship. Whilst the Predator's busy having a romantic moment with his bony bookshelf, Logan's over here healing like his face wasn't just dissolved. The problem is, the Predator just jacked one of Weapon X's most expensive murder goblins, and Weapon X is like, no, that's ours. Enter the fighter jets. Okay, the jets start blasting Predator's ship like it's Independence Day, but the Predator says, okay, bye, and then just rockets into space. Except, Logan wakes up mid-flight. His face is half grown, he's got one eye, he's full of rage, looking like your mum. So what does he do, I hear you say? Well, he just hacks a huge fucking hole in the ship and jumps from space. He crashes back to Earth like a flaming steak knife from hell, disintegrating entirely on impact. He actually becomes a crater with abs. Weapon X finds what's left with him and they load him up onto a stretcher, when, to be fair, a vacuum probably would have done the same job. Oh, and they find the Predator's helmet too, which Professor Thornton immediately turns into a fashion-forward brainwasher. Very chic and very war crime. And now we smash cut once again to 1 week ago. Logan props the helmet onto a stake in the woods and he's baiting them. There's one last fight. Winner gets to keep their organs. But before that, we head to Japan. Logan's training with Maramusa, a legendary swordsmith and professional Wolverine babysitter. Suddenly, the Predator once again drops in, this time wearing a bear skull as a helmet. Remember the thing from before with the bear? And with that, issue 3 ends on a cliffhanger with Predator in a bone hat and a mutant in a lifelong game of try and kill me, please, I dare you. Now we get to the final issue of issue 4. Logan and the Predator have been beating the absolute shit out of each other for decades. The comic opens up in the present. Wolverine is camping, not for fun and not for marshmallows. No, he's been sitting in the Canadian woods for a week, waiting to beat up a space crab with a skull collection. And how is he baiting him, I hear you ask? Well, you know that he had his helmet, and now he's just put it on a stick like it's Alien Halloween. Of course, Predator takes the bait like a moron in a horror movie and zooms down from orbit like, gimme that. Gimme that. Logan is already planning to get his arm blown off, because that's part of the plan. He wants to bleed because once the Predator gets the helmet and a little bit of Logan sauce, he'll think it's over. Classic bait and bleed maneuver. Boom! The shoulder cannon's activated and Logan's right arm is utterly obliterated. Just not there anymore. Good job, everybody. Congrats. Logan could have set traps, poisoned the helmet, left a birthday cake bomb, but no. Instead, he wanted to prove that he was deadlier than the death Predator wears. Damn. That shit go hard. So the Predator ditches the Beer Skull cosplay and finally reclaims his original helmet, probably to boost his Wi-Fi. Then we jump back to feudal Japan, because this comic has everything: swords, honor, a mentor named Maramusa who gives Logan the ultimate tough love. He says to him, "This isn't my fight, Logan, do your own homework." And then Logan has to square off with this Predator in a duel so intense he could have been a bonus boss fight in Ghost of Tsushima. But right when Logan tries to keep it classy with his katana, the Predator shoots him right out of his fucking hand. So Logan says, "Fuck this, claws out, let's dance." And then the Predator runs away like a little bitch. But then there's fucking ninjas, because why not? Okay, the hand shows up. Maramusa says, "Yeah, that guy doesn't want to kill your enemies, he just wants to make you cry." Personal. Bitch. We're in the past again. Back to the X mansion. Wolverine's being all broody, skipping dinner, watching the woods like an edgy park ranger. Xavier comes out, gently scolding him. "Kitty and Kurt miss you. Come eat your chicky nuggies." So, but before that can happen, there's 3 little dots placed on Charles's forehead, and it's Predator o'clock. There's a big ol' explosion that goes off, and then some more explosions, like the Predator just installed a Michael Bay DLC. So Logan rushes to save these kids, finds Kitty, and then boom, Logan's fried. Nightcrawler bamps in and then teleports Logan to safety. Logan basically says, "Get the fuck out of here, this is dangerous." Nightcrawler says, "Nah, it's alright." Logan hears Rogue calling out, runs down the hall, sees her being held hostage by the Predator with a knife to her throat. She's like, "If I can touch him, I can kill him," and Logan's like, "No." And then he hands himself over to the Predator to save her. That's the fake Wolverine, motherfucker. It's Donnie, the shapeshifter. And the real Logan jumps Predator from behind. Nightcrawler teleports in, rips the helmet wires, triggers a smoke screen, and then backup arrives. The Predator flees again like the world's most violent little toddler. And now we're finally back to the present. It's the final showdown time. Logan jumps onto the Predator's shoulders like an angry backpack, stabs him through the chest with the claws fully extended. Predator's like, "Ow," and then responds with 10,000 volts to the nipples. The two charge at each other with their blades. The Predator pulls out his ceremonial dagger and Logan pops the claws. They both charge and impale each other at the same time. It's savage. It's personal. It's beautiful. It's like an R-rated Disney Channel duel. Logan thinks it's over, but no, the Predator's arm gauntlet starts counting down. Logan knows what's coming. It's nuke o'clock, baby. And then, big ol' explosion. Boom. Everything's gone. The Predator's last flex is taking the trophy, even in death. But Logan narrates, that's the thing about desire. It's never about getting the thing. It's about the chase. Days later, Logan pulls himself from the crater like a cigar that got stepped on by a god. Empty, lonely, victorious, sad? Yeah, a little. He looks at the Predator's ceremonial knife, his reflection in the blade. A dangerous trophy. A reminder. And that's it! The story ends, the Predator's dead, Wolverine's alive. Barely, but he's alive. This entire series consisted of just 4 issues, and it's peak comic insanity in my eyes. It's got flashbacks, jet fighters, samurai swords, mind control helmets, and Logan regenerating from liquid metal ashes. Benjamin Percy didn't just write a Predator vs. Wolverine crossover, he wrote a decade-spanning monster hunting opera with more explosions than sense. And I'm here for it. This has been the Predator vs. Wolverine. If you've enjoyed it, happy days. Leave me a like, maybe subscribe, that'd make me feel warm inside. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.